What's your election night like? Do the Obamas watch together in Chicago, or are you with the family?
We're going to be in Chicago, and we're going to watch. I mean, I think we'll be in and out of watching. I don't know if I personally can sit and watch it's just a little too stressful. But we'll be together, friends, family, so we'll be at home in Chicago.
Great. Now, this question is for a lot of the folks that are wondering, Mrs. Obama, you always look good. What sorts
That's very nice.
Well, it's true.
To say.
It's true. What goes into that, and have you thought about what you're wearing on election night?
You know, I actually haven't. It has been just nonstop in between campaigning, being First Lady, and being a mom, because, we had Halloween, we got parent-teacher conferences, all that still goes on. The last thing I've thought about is what I'm going to wear. So there's just, not much time. I doubt if it'll be anything too exciting. So
you're working hard.
We're working really hard, and as we should be, because we've gotten a lot done in these last 4 years. We brought the economy from the brink of collapse, I should say, my husband and his administration. We're seeing job growth steadily. We've seen it throughout his presidency. More than 5 million jobs created. We have health insurance, and there are so many millions of people that we meet out there on the campaign trail who tell us stories about how lives have been saved and lives have been fundamentally changed because people now have access to health care. We've ended the war in Iraq. We're bringing down our troops from Afghanistan, and now we can look forward to working on things like bringing this deficit down, but doing it in a balanced way that doesn't overly burden the working class, dealing with our climate. As we can see, this storm is a reminder that we can't take for granted this planet, and we need to make sure that we're preserving it for our kids and our grandkids. So we got a lot of work to do.
We do. And I know the first thing you mentioned, which I know is the president's first priority, is the economy. There's been a lot of discussion about how, the more educated workforce we have, the more likelihood that we can continue to stimulate growth.
Absolutely.
Something that folks don't know about you and the president is that apparently you guys just paid off your student loans recently, about 8 years ago. Is that true?
Well, that sounds recently.
Wow.
Yeah. But
that is recent.
But we're no different than the vast majority of people in this country. We don't come from families where folks could pay tuition or we could borrow money from our parents. We went to college because we had access to financial aid, and when you get that BA and then you go on to get law school, you're coming out of school with hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. And that's even with my father, who took out loans just to pay his little bitty portion of my college education. So yeah, when you come out with that kind of debt, you're paying on it for a long time. When we first got married, I tell this story in my stump that Barack and I's combined student loan bill was actually higher than our mortgage. And we had a nice house. It was a nice little condominium, so it's considerable and can be crushing debt. And that's why it was so important for Barack to fight to double Pell Grants and to keep student interest rates low, because there are so many young people who are making decisions about their lives under the weight of crushing financial, educational debt. And we have a president, fortunately, who knows that we've got to train and prepare every young person in this country, regardless of where they come from or how much money their family makes. We can't afford to waste any of those resources. And Barack and I wouldn't be where we are today if it weren't for financial aid. So we're living that reality. We've lived that reality. So.
Well, that's something I know a lot of folks love to hear about, particularly as they're making those decisions too. Now, something else that you and the president are notorious for, every time you're on the campaign trail, you have so many young organizers, field organizers, volunteers, young staffers at the White House, and you and the president always make it a point to ask about everyone's parents. If there's an event that we can bring our parents to, folks, you always, even if you're running late, you're notorious for stopping to meet someone's mom or dad. Why is family so important to you?
Oh my gosh, family is everything. And the young people on our staff are sacrificing so much. People like you leaving your careers behind, taking pay cuts or working with no pay. And many do it because they have the love and support of their families. And I know Barack and I came from families like that. I mean, both of us left lucrative careers to work in community service, and a lot of that was made possible because our working class parents propped us up and let us live with, in that attic apartment with no rent, or, so we know how important it is to have family behind you. And that's one of the things I love about my husband, you know, that he always puts family first. And it's not just our families, but as you mentioned, it's everyone's family. It's the staff he works for. It's, you know, because I've always said, if we have to have a president who cares deeply about his children, because that's going to carry forward to the rest of the children in this country. And that's what we've seen in Barack. And that's one of the reasons why I'm one of his staunchest supporters, not because I'm married to him, but I know his heart, you know, and I know how hard he's fighting to make sure that all our young people, you know, can build these kind of solid, stable families that they come from, that they can, you know, they can emulate that in their own lives. And that's how we keep our country strong, generation after generation.